would you rather go out like Sam Jackson in Deep Blue Sea, a la basically probably drowning in your own blood / salt water, and cherry on top, simultaneously being torn in half by 2 genetically enhanced super sharks, or lose the 60 pounds that is your lower body and get tossed around like the worst game of dodgeball, courtesy of Judy Greer's Wolf Blitz from Cursed?
Oh my goodness. Ew.
Toughie.
I think... Remind me of Curse. Now, when she was split, was she alive the whole time?
She was still alive.
Okay.
Because then she tossed her ass at Christina Ricci.
Yeah, so I choose Deep Blue Sea because I think you die instantly being bit the way he was. I don't want to suffer, even for comedic purposes. So I choose Deep Blue Sea. Okay.
All right. Fair enough. I feel like... I mean, I do feel like, yes, it was definitely quicker because obviously we see she's like still alive. But, man, that would be the longest, quickest death ever. Because
yeah, he kind of went in.
Because I remember watching it and he's still like...
I know.
And then they tear him in half. I was like...
Yeah, but I think, the brain's dead. It's gone. I'm not feeling anything after that.
You probably do go into shock quick.
Yeah.
Probably. We'll say that. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Poor man.
Well, hey guys, it's December. Yeah.
Deck the motherfucking halls.
I'm not going to try to sing right now because I am ill. If you can't tell, I sound like, I don't know, a fucking duck. But yeah, we're happy to be here. I'm going to troop through this and we're going to have fun today.
Yes, we are. I love December, especially talking about horror in December. There's so many Christmas horror movies out there. It's just, you see something happy and you gotta just ruin it and just, fill it with a whole bunch of blood and scares and monsters and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So,
bring it on. And this month we're gonna sort of have a semi-theme to it. Each of our episodes is sort of gonna kind of be around the whole Christmas theme of things. You'll see as the weeks come, so just be ready for that.
Be ready. But first, happy birthday, Tony Todd.
Yes, happy birthday. I'll have to check his Instagram because he posts like crazy.
He does post a lot of stuff.
He posts a lot of stuff, so I'm sure his birthday's gonna be lit.
It's funny, whenever I see him post stuff, though, I don't realize it's him because he posts like random shit.
Very
like
random.
His cat.
He has like a convention every day. Like
really?
he's either their pictures he's stocked up and is just posting them later, but he is always somewhere celebrating horror at some I didn't know they were year round everywhere, but yes, he's somewhere.
That.
Yeah. But happy birthday to him.
And also, I found out something that you might be interested in. Did you know that they wrote a Final Destination novel?
Shut up.
Not even like, they did, I think, novelizations of the movies, or a few of them, but they wrote an actual novel separate from the movies, and it sounded really interesting. So it was called Final Destination, Death of the Senses. And it follows this story of these 2 detectives, and this man is caught before he goes on this killing spree because he was going to kill 5 people based on different senses. So like the nose, the eyes, the ears. And then after killing those 5 people, they would reveal to him the 6th person he needs to kill based on a second sense, or the 6th sense.
Crazy.
But he's stopped. They stop him from doing that before he kills anyone. Unfortunately, that interrupts Death's design.
Yeah.
So then the victims that he intended to kill still have to die. So they have to find out who these people are because then they start dying. And it sounded really interesting. So they released it, but then some weird printing error, they pulled it.
Of course they did.
And I was like, oh my God, who has a copy of this? Because I want to read it.
You know what? Immediately what I think of when I hear this story, because it fits perfectly with my theory. I don't know how the story's going to play out, when it takes place, who's involved, all that shit. But the 5 people he was going to kill were the 5 people who got visions. And because remember, I asked you, why were they chosen to receive visions of their deaths? And I bet you those 5 chosen people would have given him that 6th sense. So those visions went through those 5 random people.
It's an interesting theory. Well, they named the characters in the book. And
I know that's the thing.
None of them were the people.
But I would have totally tied that shit in. That's cool.
It's cool. And Bloodworth is in the book.
Yeah.
So that's how I found out, because I was looking up Tony Todd stuff, and I was like, oh, his character is in the book, so he's helping them, to
I'm going to write that. I don't read, but that's one book that I would probably check out.
And, I mean, you don't read books as much, but they did also have 2 short comic series.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I wonder how the animation looks on that.
I couldn't find them, but
it'll give me something to do. Hopefully I can find something.
I think a couple of them were attached to some DVD releases. So
well, I haven't. Well,
if the 3rd or 4th one, it was like a special thing where they put out so many issues. But
okay.
Yeah.
I have them on DVD, but I didn't buy the originals. I bought the 4-pack one, the little family pack.
Yeah, the family pack.
I know. Yeah, but I don't think the special features would probably have something. It's probably like the blandest, like just the movie, and then yeah.
But I thought that was really cool. I was like,
thank you for telling me that. I am so looking that up. I hate that we missed the whole, Fandango event over at Chinese Theater. They did that double feature of FD 1 and 2 with like special guests. Yeah, it was a Q&A thing, just like how they were going to do Jeepers Creepers.
Right, you told me about that. I'm
sorry. But I mean,
right.
It was during one of our recording days, so we wouldn't have been able to go. But yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have gone to that. It sounded cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Random tidbit in honor of Mr. Todd.
Yeah.
Also, he was supposed to voice the villain in Doctor Strange.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he recorded it and everything. But then they decided to just go with, what's his name? Benadryl Kumquat?
Stop.
So Benadryl...
Stop it.
Benedict Cumberbatch, he voiced the villain, Dormammu, even though he's also Doctor Strange, so that's kind of weird.
In the movie?
In the movie, he's the voice of the villain, and he's Doctor Strange, obviously.
I think I read something that he was the voice of that.
So Tony Todd, he went in and did the whole recording session. He recorded everything, but then they just, for some reason, decided to not use his. I was like, that's too bad. It's
so cool. Tony Todd does not care to be typecast. The man just... I'm sorry, you're not getting your own, Christmas Vacation movie. You're not getting like a rom-com. I'm sorry, the voice is just too much. Like, you never know. You're getting the villains. So yeah, but that's fine by me because I love it. Every time I hear his voice, I'm like, oh, some shit's about to go down. Because he wouldn't just pick some wimpy character like he's going out. So,
shall we go to some recommendations?
Yes, we shall. All right. Like clockwork, it's the beginning of December. We devote it to new horror for the month. And I'll start with Netflix. The only 2 that I found interesting that are new is the movie Bright with Will Smith. You can probably describe more about... Do you know what this movie's about?
Well, it's sort of like it's a fantasy horror set in reality where it's like all of these fantasy creatures are real, they're part of society, and it's funny. I just watched Zootopia today because I'm like, I don't feel good, let me watch Disney. And, it's kind of like Zootopia, but fantasy horror. Okay. So Will Smith is a cop and his new partner is an orc. He's the first orc police officer ever. And orcs, I guess, are usually stereotypically not good characters, so they're usually criminals and gangsters, and so they're always like not trustworthy. That's how people think of them. So this new cop, he's getting a lot of flack, and Will Smith doesn't really want to work with them. And that's really all I know. And that's enough. I don't want to know anymore else.
I mean, like I said to you earlier, you reminded me. It sounds a lot like Alienation. Yeah. The whole mixture of 2 species.
But there's going to be so many different creatures and species, and
Let's
the
just
visuals look
hope
amazing.
this is not another RIPD, because I cannot take that if it is.
What's RAPD? I'm sorry.
Oh, so it's a fantasy comedy, sort of like
Oh, wait.
what am I thinking of? Hellboy, but it's Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, that.
When he
that
dies
thing.
and then he's in limbo, so he has to prove himself and becomes
Yeah.
a cop. And it's like Men in Black. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was adapted from a comic book, I think. But
Yes,
they just
yeah.
like threw that shit together real quick.
So hopefully we don't see that. But this movie's not a comedy.
No.
It's more of a drama or
Yeah,
crime
it's
drama.
a drama. It looks really good, and Netflix usually typically picks up good shit. But you know, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that movie, Bright comes out December 22nd, so right before Christmas. And the other movie, I believe, is already out on demand, but it's officially going to Netflix on December 23rd, and that's Creep 2, which I am very, very excited about because the first one was so damn scary.
So can you give me just a quick synopsis, because I haven't seen the first one.
Okay, so do you want to know like about the first one or just what this
Well, I guess
particular one?
the first one, because I don't know anything about
So
it.
this guy answers an ad on Craigslist, and the ad requests a videographer to come out and record him for a day because he thinks he like found something in the woods where he lives, and he just has all these quirky theories. He just wants to be filmed, and so he goes out there, and immediately from jump, the moment they meet, it is the most awkward, weirdest, like you need to turn around and drive the hell away sort of feeling. But he's there for a job, and he does everything that he says and just follows him around, but he just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's found footage, of course, because it's done by a camera, but it's not like the most fucked up shit. But you just watch this guy just continuously just start like freaking out and just going weird, and then all of a sudden like things hit the fan, and you find out this guy is not right in the head, and it's just so creepy. And the second one sort of continues from that, but it involves a girl who gets her kicks from meeting strange people like that, and I think she wants to either make a documentary or she's a reporter and wants to write a story, but she goes online willingly searching for these type of psychos.
Okay.
And she finds him and goes out there, and obviously she bit more than she could chew. So it's just the same guy, spoiler alert, he lives, and sort of just does it again to this girl. And I watched the trailer, and it just looks equally fucked up. And I think his name is Mark Duplass. He's more famous for his comedic stuff. So when you see him in this role, it's something that you don't expect, which makes it even more freakyish because he pulls it off so well. So I'm excited for it. And I think the first one's still on Netflix as well. But yeah, that's the 23rd.
All right, nice.
Yeah. So
Oh wait, one more thing from Netflix.
Oh, you
Yes.
found one. Okay.
So I saw it today, and it looks interesting. So it's a series,
Oh, okay.
a new series that just came out, and it's called Dark. It's Netflix's first German series, and it follows two children who disappear in a small German town. This brings to light a generations-long mystery surrounding 4 different families. So
I put that on cue.
yeah.
So do you think that's like a crime drama, or do you think there's like a supernatural element
There's a
to it?
supernatural element.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember sort of the key words, but
Yeah.
Okay. I believe I queued that up myself because I saw it as one of
Like
the new releases.
it's like a family drama, but there's some supernatural stuff
Okay.
going on. So.
I am totally down. Did you happen to notice how many episodes?
No, I didn't look at that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure
Nope.
it's like the typical Netflix.
Yeah. 13 or 14
Something
or something
like
like
that,
that.
yeah.
Okay. No, fair enough. Okay, and then let's see. I wrote down a whole bunch, but I'm not gonna name them all. I will say that in theaters this weekend, so 2 days from Wednesday, is The Shape of Water.
Oh, I
with
want to see
Guillermo
that.
del Toro's sort of horror love
Yeah.
movie. This looks amazing. I know you don't watch trailers, but when I went to
Yeah.
the movies last weekend, they showed an updated trailer. My God, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
It does.
And this woman, She's getting nominated. She
Sally
has.
Hawkins.
Yeah, she is getting
And
nominated. She has to.
There's a lot of like Octavia Spencer's in there. So anytime Octavia Spencer's in something, I'm like, is this going to be nominated for an award?
Something's going on.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
But for her being mute and just expressing all of that emotion in her, like, she's going to carry this movie. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And Doug Jones.
Yes, Doug Jones. He does his best in makeup,
anytime
so
you
I
see
can't. Yeah.
a skinny creature, it's like,
Oh,
Doug
that's
Jones.
the thing. So this updated trailer showed more of the creature, and he's just visually
I
stunning.
don't want to see that.
I know, but
yes,
it's so good.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's out December 8th. Yeah, I will be
Shape
going.
of Water.
So I'm sure if we both get a chance to watch it, we'll talk about it thoroughly. Okay, so there's another movie that's limited release. I'll just bring it up anyway because most likely it'll just go to on demand very shortly. So it's this movie called Psychopaths, and apparently this serial killer dies, but triggers just 6 random people. I don't know if it's in the same town or around the world, but it's just triggers 6 people to just go out and start murdering people, all in different ways. Some do it by poison. Some do it by luring men back to their hotel room with their, sexual wiles. Others is just attacking children. Like, it's just all different, but it's this accumulated group of people, all from separate stories, just out there killing people. And for some reason, it's connected to the first person who died. And just the way that the trailer was done, it just sounded very interesting. So, Psychopaths. I would look that up, see if anybody's watched it, definitely let us know what you think. But I just thought the trailer was really interesting.
It does sound interesting.
And then there is another video on demand is Slumber with Maggie Q. And I love Maggie Q. So she is a doctor who interviews this entire family who is going through sleep paralysis.
Oh.
And at first she just thought it was the little boy, but it turns out that the whole family, daughter, mom, dad, all of them are going through it. And it turns out that the family is being haunted by this nightmare hag, I think. And so it sort of digs deep into the origin of why you get paralysis when you're asleep and you're awake noticing everything. So I'll just say that and leave it at that.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so that should be out now, I think. It said December 1st, but I don't know exactly the date. But yeah, this should be out now. Better Watch Out. Christmas home invasion movie that is with a twist. It is not what you think. I had the pleasure of watching it. I had the pleasure of watching it. It is supposed to be out now. It's officially on DVD on the 5th.
When did you watch it?
Oh, I watched it online.
Oh, look at you. Naughty.
But this movie is really good, really demented. Think Funny Games.
Okay.
Yeah, really good. Another one that I'll mention that's new is on DVD December 12th. It's called K-Shop, and it's short for Kebab Shop.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
So this guy who owns a kebab shop with his father, their store is sort of in a neighborhood that just attracts the most evil people. They just cause trouble. They're bullies. They just cause havoc. And through a small altercation, the father ends up getting into an accident with one of the patrons and ends up passing away. And so the son is left to defend himself and the store on his own, and he just suddenly snaps and just can't take it anymore, and he accidentally kills one of the people. And then he goes all Sweeney Todd on him.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, he goes all Sweeney Todd. He needs to get rid of the body, and he doesn't know what to do with it, so he decides to make it its secret ingredient, and it just escalates and escalates from there.
God.
The way that the trailer was done made it look very, very interesting. I'm very curious to see, because technically the way the trailer made it seem is we're supposed to root for this guy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, something's not there. And I think psychologically it sounds pretty cool. So that's December 12th.
Okay.
Some other honorable mentions is Leatherface. I didn't even get a chance to watch it in theater. I don't even think it went. But that's December 19th. Also, It Chapter 1. And also a movie that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Mayhem with Steven Yeun, December 26th on DVD. So I would check that out. Like I said, highly recommend that. So yeah, so that is pretty much all that I have for horror in December. Of course, there are tons more. So just look them up at your favorite horror, website. But those are some honorable mentions that I wanted to bring up.
That sounds like a good selection.
Yeah. I'm excited for this month, and I'm gonna definitely check out most of them.
All right.
All right. Let's see. I think let's do our nominations. What should we do first?
Deadly DVD Barrel.
We're doing DVD Barrel. Okay, so the scholar's pick for DVD Barrel December. I'm choosing The House at the End of the Street, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Max Thoreau.
And Elizabeth Shue.
And the amazing Elizabeth Shue.
A la Adventures in Babysitting.
A la Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that too. And I, the fool, nominated the Black Christmas remake. For the holidays.
How festive of you.
I try. Just like Mariah.
Okay, so Nate, why did you pick Black Christmas?
So, I'm not really sure why they remade this movie, especially in the way that they did. It was never really scary, and it was awkward. I'm not sure why they chose a male performer to portray the daughter of what's his name? I can't even think of the character's name right now, but
wasn't it like Billy or something?
Billy, yeah.
Billy.
So Billy's daughter / sister. I'm not sure why they made a man play that character, but it was just so strange. I think his method of killing was in the original, but it was like he did it to one character. And then they just proceeded to do that to every single character throughout the movie. And I was like, why? Why are they doing this? It was very awkward. Some strange incest happening that was really uncomfortable. So I guess that's probably the scariest part of the movie for me. You know how I feel about incest, Rob. It's just not my favorite hot button issue. There was a lot of people in this movie, and that I think misled me. One, because I was like, all these girls, they work, and so a lot of them have some decent horror resumes.
Especially, oh my God, what's her face from FD3?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
She's in everything.
She
horror.
does so many things. And then, what's her name? The blonde, Katie.
Yeah, Katie Cassidy.
She's got a good resume, and it's not like they did a bad job in the movie as actors. They got Andrea Martin to come back from the original, but it was just so awkward. Oh, and what really pissed me off was that fucking marketing scheme. They had some good shit in that trailer. Yeah, that's the one time because you're like, I don't know if you remember, like somebody gets is falling out the window and they get wrapped up in the Christmas lights, and then they're getting pulled into the snowblower because they're tangled in the Christmas lights.
Oh, so you're saying they cut out a lot of
that
deaths.
Was not in the movie at all.
It's starting to come back to me. The trailer did show a lot of cool deaths.
There was they found someone frozen under the snow. Never happened. There was a lot of stuff that they put in that trailer to lure us in. Okay. And I looked it up. I don't even think they did it in Europe because Cursed got a lot of stuff in Europe. Yeah. They didn't show it to anybody. It was just for the marketing. So I'm like, why did you go to all that trouble to show me this cool shit that never comes to pass? And then you give me this bland ass shit that's not scary.
Okay. So should I comment on this movie or just go to mine?
Go ahead and comment.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, or you can do yours first and whatever you want, Rob.
I'll do my first. So, House at the End of the Street is Jennifer Lawrence, and she plays daughter of Elizabeth Shue. They might as well have just been sisters because they're both just literally the same person. But I digress. They move into a home where basically they got it for cheap. Oh, and you know what? One day I'll do this, but I'm so sick of bitches buying houses for cheap. Come on now. y'all know better. Like, stop it. Either come up with a different reason to buy a house or just stop doing it, because y'all know better. Stop living in death towns. Like, that shit is not funny anymore.
It's also a little misleading. Like, where the fuck can I get a house for cheap?
Thank you. So they move into a house, which isn't bad. It's the door next door. I mean, it's the house next door that's fucked up. Parents died by their daughter while they were sleeping, and they had a brother who was away for the week and comes back to, dead parents, and a sister who went missing. So Jennifer Lawrence's character is, new girl in town, and she's trying to get along with everybody, and she meets the boy next door, and of course she falls for him because, who doesn't like
sad
a
and
yeah, he's just, just sad, depressed, and everybody hates him, so he must be awesome. I mean, but it's Max Thoreau. I mean, I think he's a cutie. But anyways, he's, damaged, and, and I think she said this too, Elizabeth Shue. She was just like, yeah, you just love fixing damaged little boys. And so anyways, this movie plays off like a big mystery, but I'm sorry, like, this movie's predictable as shit. Nothing happens for the first 40 minutes of the movie. It is downright boring. They, for some reason, tried setting up this huge background to a reveal that didn't even need all of what they were trying to do. And I don't know if they were trying to sell a love story for the sake of shock value, but it just wasn't pulled off very well. And they made Elizabeth Shue's character like a total bitch. Like, she is a neglected mom, apparently a former slut, and
no slut shaming.
No slut shaming, but I mean, in her character, they just kind of they made her question her parenting, which gave Jennifer Lawrence reason to be an obsolete daughter. Just going against rules and shit. It was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
What I will say though, they had some jump scares. There was 2 good ones where I, rewatching it, actually jumped again. Other than that, it was downright just it was kind of boring, and it just a bit of a waste of time. Now, I remember watching it the first time and they revealed what happened. Sorry, they've done this before. Do you remember, did you end up watching the ending this time?
No.
I knew you didn't. Okay, that's okay. So, yeah, I like the actors that they've chosen. I don't know if Jennifer Lawrence was good for this role, to be in a horror. I don't know.
It's kind of a random movie for her to do.
I mean, she was starting to, rank up her resume.
I mean, she'd already won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So, I don't
know.
I mean,
I think it shows versatility when you try and do other stuff. Like, I don't mind you being in a thriller, but I don't know, this one just didn't.
I mean, I think she could do a horror or thriller. I'm sure she could. It was just such a random movie for her to be in.
So, I ended up watching it again unrated, and they actually had an extra scene in it, which added to more of the twist towards the end. But you've seen this ending before; it's nothing new. It just was a very weird movie, and just a little boring, and I just didn't like it. It's completely forgettable. And again, if I didn't think about it like 4 months ago and had it written down as a list of a movie to bring up today, I would have never remembered this. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. So I'm going to comment on your choice.
Okay.
And then you can comment on mine.
Okay.
So, it was 2013 when this movie was on Netflix, and my friend Ashley came to visit. She was my friend who climbed up the side of me when we went to see They in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, let's watch something scary. And I think we got about 40 minutes in. That was around the time that he accidentally or purposely killed his sister.
It was on accident.
And then put her in the trunk and went to dump the... or whatever. And we had just been sitting there, like, watching this. And so I was like, so are we done watching this?
Yeah,
She's like,
I mean, the movie's
I'm
over.
not even curious enough to finish this. It's so boring. So we turned it off because we just didn't care.
Okay, so do you want to know what's happening?
I mean, go ahead and tell me. Tell me what happened, because it was so
dry. Spoiler alert. Now, the sister ends up dying. I mean, obviously, up until that point, she kept trying to escape. Anytime he would go down in the basement, she would attack him and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And so you think something's wrong with her. She's not right. I mean, she killed parents, right?
Right.
So she dies. She ends up in the trunk. Jennifer Lawrence, she finds... Wait, no, yeah, she sees him at school. So at school, she invites him to this, Battle of the Bands thing because she joins a band. When he gets at school, all the jocks pick on him, and so he defends himself and like kicks the shit out of two guys. I mean, literally breaks an arm. He takes an arm and just literally steps on it like it's a twig. It was fucking disgusting. But the whole school sees it. She's like, oh, he may not be right? All that crap. Meanwhile, he ends up going to this coffee shop, and this girl behind the counter tries hitting on him. And she's like, oh, here's a coffee on me. Do you want any company? Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I'm not really feeling you. And she's just pressed. I mean, she's just like, I'm all about this boy. Next thing you know, Jennifer Lawrence comes over to the house, and she's just like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Yada, yada. She ends up in the basement, and she sees somebody, tied to the bed. But obviously it's not the sister because she died.
Right.
So the camera pans over and you see this jacket that matches the jacket that the girl from the coffee house is wearing.
Okay.
So turns out that the sister that supposedly went missing after she killed her parents and nobody heard of her. Everybody thinks she's in the woods, lost, living, or whatever. But, the secret is that the brother was keeping her in the basement this whole time. Well, technically, the woman in the trunk, as well as this new girl, were not related to him. His sister actually died when she fell off the swing in the beginning. He went crazy and kidnapped a girl to pretend to be his sister.
I see.
This is why she kept trying to escape every single time and attacking him. It's not because she's crazy, it's because she's trying to get the fuck away. And she's been sedated and all this stuff the whole time, so obviously her mind's going a little bit, but that was never her sister. And she was just another replacement. And then when she died, Jennifer Lawrence was next in line.
Oh.
So... struggle, mom comes over, tries to save the daughter because everybody suspects that he's trouble, and then long story short, they end up getting away. He didn't die, but he gets captured and stabbed to where he can't hurt anybody. He gets put in a hospital, and then at the very, very last minute you get a flashback of the parents who were obviously high on drugs, and they were throwing a birthday party for the little sister who supposedly died. They dressed him up as the girl and said, your name is fucking Carol Ann. He goes, no, my name is blah, blah, blah. And the mom slaps the shit out of him. Your name is Carol Ann. And then he's thinking about all of this, and he lifts his head, and he's in a psych ward. So we've seen it all before. So yeah. His whole childhood, he was being verbally and physically abused and told that he was the daughter because the parents obviously blamed him for the daughter's death.
Okay, so he was the one who killed the parents.
He was
dressed
the one
as the
who,
little girl.
Exactly.
Okay.
He was the one that killed the parents. So, his sister died the minute she fell off that swing. And so they were dressing him as a girl, and then he got up and killed the parents. So,
all right.
So there you go.
Mystery solved.
And so, like I said, the first go around, I was like, oh yeah. But again, the execution, horrible. So, Okay. So here's the thing with Black Christmas. I fucking love this movie. I love Black Christmas so much. It is so funny. So hilarious. I love these girls. So... it's sort of like Sorority Row and All Cheetos Must Die and all that stuff. I like the fact that it was different from the original. If you're going to make a remake, they obviously changed it up to where it wasn't a carbon copy. They also got a lot of stage presence. Like almost every girl in there was recognizable. And... who wouldn't want to see them all in a horror movie, especially Lacey Chabert? I was so happy to see her. And I think she played the Andrea Martin character because she was like the sweet one.
No, she wasn't sweet.
She wasn't sweet? I don't remember.
No, Katie Cassidy was like the sweet one.
Was she the sweet one? Okay. I thought she was the one with
most
the boyfriend.
Most of the girls were bitches. She did have a boyfriend. They all had boyfriends for the most part, but yeah, they were all kind of bitchy and...
But I also love that Andrea Martin played literally the opposite of her character from the original. And here's the thing. I just watched the original yesterday.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted to watch the original because you had nominated the remake, and I wanted to compare it. So in the original, the villain is not seen whatsoever at all. I actually really enjoyed that aspect of it, but the moaning over the phone and all that shit just got annoying. After a while, I was just like, this is kind of funny. I've seen scary.
Parts of it where he does sound funny.
Yeah,
but
you could barely even understand some of the words he was saying. It just kind of got. But when that initial attack at the end, when it's finally revealed, and he's like banging his way trying to get to her, that was scary as shit. This movie, I think it was supposed to be a dark comedy, and I appreciated some of the catty shit that was going on. Because, not to say that's how sorority houses are, but, like, you put a group of women together, I'm sorry, this is kind of how it goes down. And I don't know, I just thought it was a lot of fun. And, yeah, the incest thing, I think, was going way too far, but just for the sake of a movie just being fucked up royally, I think they did an amazing job. So I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
You would. So, let me get my thoughts together for a moment. The house at the end of the street, or the end of the lane, whatever the fuck that movie's called.
End of the street, yeah.
That's going in the deadly DVD barrel.
Thank you.
Because it is so boring. I mean, I didn't even care to finish it.
Yeah.
And what I will say about Black Christmas, I felt that it was unintentionally funny.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Because we did laugh our asses off in the theater, and we would talk about shit like the whole time. Like, I mean,
those deaths were pretty gruesome, and I would have loved to have seen all of the stuff that they showed in the trailer.
Yeah,
it just looked
that
like
would have
they
made
went
it much
all
better.
Out.
The deaths that they showed, I mean, they were the same. It was the same thing. He would put a bag over their head and then stab them with his little icicle, and that was it.
Yeah.
He wanted to remove their eyes. It wasn't, like there was a lot of missed opportunities.
I hear you.
And
well, from the first one, I think they kind of took out a lot of people, but obviously from that first person point of view, it obviously wasn't as in your face and graphic as the remake. There was just something I'll bring this up later because I want to bring this up during our Christmas special, actually. Yeah. There's a little bit more that I want to go into.
Yeah.
But, okay, cool. Rob wins another one. House at the End of the Street. Okay, I never bring that shit up again. Ugh, what a horrible movie. Alrighty. Hall of Fears. I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. The movie I decided to nominate for Hall of Fears is an ensemble cast as a murder mystery. 2003's Identity. You roll your eyes.
You're an asshole.
So I nominated this movie because when I first saw this, it blew my fucking mind. Like, I actually needed this movie to be explained to me because it was just so trivial and complex and so unique that I was just blown away with its creativity. And what's funny about it is that if I bring this movie up to anyone for the first time, like, ooh, you should watch this movie, all they need to do is hear the name of the movie and what it's about, and they've already guessed the ending. I'm like, how do you do this? But for me, the way that it was set up, the execution, never would have guessed it. Mm-hmm. I've never seen anything like this before. And this movie goes down as one of the biggest twists in horror that I've seen. It's one of my favorites. I recommend it to everyone. And again, I love the cast. I thought the ending was justified and it was real. And it's so inspiring. I just love this movie. Great, like I said, great cast, great kills. It doesn't even go overboard or over the top. All the acting's great. It's just an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is my pick.
Good choice.
Thank you.
You're an asshole. in honor of the birthday boy, I chose Candyman. Candyman.
That's two. Stop.
I love this movie, and it stands the test of time for me. It's from the 90s, so, you know, it can be dated, but the reason it stands the test of time is that it doesn't have a lot of the gimmicks. Like, it's not like a lot of jump scares or anything like that. It's a very different horror film. We've talked about it before. It's almost beautiful to me. It's very haunting. Yes, it can be kind of gory, but not any gorier than anything else you've ever seen, so it's not that bad.
It is pretty gross.
It's gross, but
oh my god.
I don't know. His performance. And you know, it's like he's not even, you don't even see him for what, 30 minutes?
There's that
or
little
longer?
glimpse in that story that she told.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, he doesn't come in until later.
But when he comes in, man, that is one of the best entrances for a character I've ever seen.
So random during the day.
So random during the day, and
Yeah.
it's just he's
Secluded
so
parking lot.
he's a very seductive character.
Mm-hmm.
Just his voice, I love Tony Todd's voice, and I just feel like he does something slightly different for Candyman because it's like he's, you know, whispering to a lover. He is, and I love it. I love it so much. It's a ghost story that transcends time because, I mean, he is the only slasher like this. He's the only slasher that I feel sympathy for. I don't feel bad for the others. You know, Jason, so sad, but it's like his movies are crap. But the others are they're terrible. You know, it's like they're either mindless or they're perverts or whatever. And Candyman is tragic, and it's rooted in our history. And I remember a conversation with my mom when I was a kid. Now she's like, "Oh, why would you feel bad for him? Look at what he did to that woman." I'm like, and I didn't understand it then why I really felt bad for him, but I do now. It's like, well, I feel like he's justified in his killings because they tortured him. And when he comes back, it's just so, I don't know. I don't feel bad for anybody. I kind of feel bad. Okay, no, that's not true. I feel bad for Bernadette.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, clearly he's on a revenge kick a little bit. I mean, obviously leading up to his destined woman, but it's like, given the nature of his revenge, why attack the black woman? Why attack your own people? Like, she should not have died.
That's what you get when you assimilate. Okay. You hanging out with the wrong people.
So she
You're hanging out with the wrong people.
Who's the one betting them? Okay, like, you're the one that wants to get with them, but I can't kick it with them as a friend. Come on now.
He only betted one. It was true love. He was murdered.
All I'm saying is he can go ahead and fall in love with one, but I can't be friends with one.
That wasn't his fault. That was her fault for calling him.
She didn't even. Well, she was a part of the first part.
Yeah,
anyway,
they doubted him.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Bernadette knew better to not say.
She
all
did,
the way.
but it's just like,
But
spare her.
It's like, I mean, that's what happens when you hang out with bad company. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, okay. Well, so here's the thing. How dare you? Because,
How dare you?
Well,
I mean, okay, so first of all, let's just say you knew what I picked.
yes, I did.
You
This is
slid
why I
this
had
in.
to come strong with mine.
I mean, I'm glad you did, because I was like, oh, he's just going to do a
Well,
little
yeah,
throwaway.
I mean, here's the thing. I've mentioned this. Candyman is one of my favorite movies ever. It is one of the scariest that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And, like, the minute you told me you picked this, I was like, you motherfucker. So, like, I had to pick something that obviously was just going to be a throw-in, because clearly...
This is not a throw-in. Identity is so good.
No, but that was my train of thought before. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to put a movie out there because I know he's going to win this. But then I was like, no, let me see if I can counter this just for a little bit of a fight. And Identity's the shit.
It is
the shit.
It's excellent. It's such a good movie.
It is so good, beginning to end. So here's the thing with Candyman. There's a couple of things that I still haven't made too much sense of, and that's the rules. of what he can and cannot do. And I don't know if it has to do with being around her, but just, I don't know, to me, when they called him out the first time, it's like he didn't come instantly like he should. And maybe it was because his Destin finally did it, or was that the end game? Did she have to be the one to do it? Was it destiny that she was going to call out his name to begin with? How long was his game going to go? And just him appearing in the parking lot, that just seems so like, can you do anything you want, or do you just stay dormant until somebody calls you?
Well, you remember, so the reason he appeared is that she ruined his legend.
His name. That's
so
right, yeah.
There was somebody else carrying on as if he was him, so it struck fear into people's hearts, so they still believed in the legend. But then once she went snooping around and then, this guy got arrested, that removed the fear from the community, so then his congregation no longer was saying his name. No one was afraid of his name anymore, so that's when he showed up.
But that's the thing. It's just like, I didn't know that he could do that to her. Like, yeah, she called out his name, but like, he showed up whenever he wanted, and then never appeared again until he was called again. So it was just, I don't know. And then like, I don't know how urban legends work, because we don't know where Freddy goes when he's not in dream state. But it's like Candyman was kicking it in a basement with a baby the whole time when he wasn't being called. It's like, I could be feeding the baby and then oops, somebody called me. God damn it, I was feeding the kid while you were doing, like, just some of the rules just didn't connect with me. But this is what I like about his character. He is only around because of imagination. You let the best of it get you, and you carry on something that has no business having any power or any life whatsoever. And that's the power of imagination. And I think that in retrospect, we're our own worst enemies in this movie. Like, we bring it on ourselves to believe something so trivial. And honestly, that's the source of their power. It's the only way that they can transcend in some of these urban legend type of movies. And I just find that fascinating, that we're the ones that are causing this to ourselves, in a way.
I'm going to argue that. I feel like he's the one that's in control. Because,
so you do think he's in control?
Like I just said,
okay,
he's not appearing when people are afraid of him. But when this bitch shows up and is like, it's a legend. It's an urban legend. I'm going to debunk it. And then he, goes and fucks with the community that he is haunting. It's like, oh, okay. Well, now I got to show up and fuck with your life. But also, you used to be my baby mama back in the day. So, how you doing? How you been?
I did love his costume. Very subtle.
And the hook is not like... It's not like a Captain Hook. It's
not a Captain Hook Disney thing. Like, it's one of those... It's not even like a Chainsaw Massacre hook. Like, it's very skinny. It just get...
It's like... It's gross.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah. It's a good one. Good one. So, yeah. Identity, just a really good mystery. And all assorted characters. And it's just everything of... There's so many clues. Just left and right. And I still didn't get it. And... I just find it fascinating. So
I enjoy Identity, but I can't rewatch it for the same value, because now I do know what happened. Great twist. Didn't see it coming. Like you, I didn't know. But yes, written perfectly, great performances. But it's like, now I know. It's sort of like The Sixth Sense. Great movie, but it's like, now I know. I know what's coming. So but Candyman, I can rewatch again and again, and it's like, I still get that feeling. The music just takes me.
There's so many subtle, like, messages and just metaphors and things that happen in Candyman. And like you said, the music, Clive Barker, like... Clive Barker did it, but what was it? Glass.
Yeah, Philip Glass.
Philip Glass. Fuck, man, that music is great.
Just the backstory of filming, like how they had to make deals with the local gangs so that they could film there, and then they're shooting into their van anyway, and it's like, there's so much happening within that production. So I like it.
So, I mean, I don't know what movie could have conquered Candyman at this point. So, I mean,
like, if you had picked Candyman and I had nominated something else, I just feel like I would have went with Candyman. I don't think
And I'm surprised I haven't picked it at this point. I just think because we've talked about it so much, it's kind of like an unwritten movie that's already in there anyway. So there's no reason to make it official because it's already in there. But you brought it up, and I was just like, God damn it. So, good choice. Good choice. Yes, I will concede to Candyman. One thing I will say about Identity. I'm sure everybody's seen it, but without spoiling it, I don't want to do it. I think when, like, a really good scene for me that I think is amazing is John Cusack.
Wrong one.
When he figures it out. And he is allowing himself to die.
Oh, right.
I thought that scene was so well done because it's like, why do that? And it's just that belief. He had to really believe what he was seeing was actually truth. And then it also just brings up a very important moral question in the justice system. Should people go to jail for that? Or should they be committed?
Right.
And going through the process, like with Doc Ock, how he, figured everything out and exorcised the demon out of him or whatever. Yeah. Like, should he be, go to jail for that? Should he be put to execution? And that's one of those things that's so tricky and you just don't know if you should bypass. And, again, that's why I love this movie so much, because it wasn't just a slasher one by one thing. Like, it actually asks a question. Yeah. And I thought that was fascinating for such a small movie that just kind of went in there, Yeah. So, but yeah, that was mine.
Good one.
Thank you.
Kicking off December and finishing out the year strong. I think so. Well, we're getting pretty close here.
Yeah.
You have any last requests? Any last words before we get some bitch action going?
I think we're good. Should we mention what our upcoming episode is?
If you want to.
Okay. Yeah. So keeping it thematic with the whole Christmas thing, what do you think of when you think of Christmas? Of course, immediately you think toys and presents and all that good stuff. So next week, we are going to talk about horror movies with creepy dolls and toys and puppets and all of the killing little children stuff that you can think of. And there are plenty of it, so I'm kind of excited for this episode too. So, yeah. Old and new, there's so many on the spectrum. So yeah, that'll be our next episode.
Yes.
All right, so for Bitch Really. So you have a choice. I can do one of the movies that we talked about today, or I can do another one that's not even Christmas related. It's just a random one that I just thought of. Your choice. Whatever one you do, I'll do the other one later. So you're gonna hear both either way.
Okay. All right. Well, do it for one of the movies we talked about.
Okay. So this one is actually from the original Black Christmas.
Oh.
So it doesn't necessarily have to do with anybody dying. I think the women pretty much did everything they possibly could do to stay alive. I mean, who the fuck knew that asshole was in the attic the whole time? But this is where the bitch really comes in, is the motherfucking police.
Oh.
Why didn't anybody check the attic? What the hell? Especially the ending. That shit pissed me off so much when I watched that. Do you remember?
I haven't seen it.
You have not seen it?
No, not yet.
Can I tell you?
The ending?
Yeah.
No, don't tell me the ending, because I'm going to watch it this
Okay.
month.
I won't say too much, but the initial kill with, the bag over the head and all of that shit is, like she's in the attic.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one checks it at all. And it just baffles me that the police just, I'll just leave it at that. Police, what the hell? You're supposed to thoroughly go through everything. It was just a missed opportunity to save some lives. It just really pissed me off.
So basically, they got everyone killed.
It was just ridiculous. Like, cops, I thought were I've watched cop TV shows where they do more thorough shit than this.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, there was just no excuse, and I didn't like it. So the bitch really just goes to the horrible police force, led by John Saxon himself.
That's right.
Was in this. Yeah. Yeah, so that is my bitch really of this week. Just don't trust the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Wow, Rob. Wow. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else.
Now
so.
you're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess
Even Steven still. Nobody's dominated a full month yet, but we'll get there. One of us will. No, you picked a really good one, so I had to give you your run, but no, that was a good choice.
I mean, I kind of did a throwaway with you, not really, but once you told me what you were doing for the Deadly DVD Barrel, I was like, well, that movie was really boring. So
when you told me you hadn't seen it all the way through, I'm like, oh,
let
yeah,
me just think, and I was like, well, I didn't like the remake of Black Christmas, so I can at least talk about it, and it'll be fun. But I still laughed at it.
Yeah,
just didn't mean to. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas. It's like, it was just such a weird movie.
I love it.
So gross.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our episode this week, and tune in next week.
Yeah. Watch out for those falling icicles. Catch you next time on Bitch I Ain't Scared.